Hey everybody, how are you doing this evening? It's David with a Carnivore Diet Journey. I did a video recently about the carnivore diet being affordable and being budget friendly and for everybody after a comment on TikTok. And I just wanted to hop on and create a video, not too long. I just wanted to touch base on some of your options. As far as carnivore goes, you don't always have to be buying the ribeyes that are $36, $40 for two of them currently at the moment. Trust me, I had some the other day. It was a treat. But, there are cheaper cuts of beef out there. If you want to stick with beef, which is one of the essentials, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. The essentials of carnivore. And, a little cheese if you're doing ketovore. But some of the cheapest cuts of beef are ground beef, of course, and then you got chuck roast, short ribs, and they make this stew meat that's kind of chopped up already. And then there's also beef shank. Now, some of these might not have as much fat content, but they will have protein and a little bit of fat. In the moderate middle class of beef that we're looking at, it's going to be like a top round, like a London broil. I don't know if you've ever made one of those, but they're absolutely delicious. They're amazing. The tri-tip is also right there in that moderate price range. I'm not looking at exact prices. I'm kind of giving you the levels of how expensive these are. Brisket's in the middle, believe it or not, but I know brisket comes in these huge packs, but you'll find massive sales going on with brisket sometimes at your local grocery store. Just check the app, download your grocery store apps, Kroger, Publix, Walmart, Food Lion, wherever you're at in the country. Download that grocery store's app and be checking their weekly sales. We got skirt steak in there in the moderates. Now the expensive cuts, the ones we're talking about, the treats, the stuff it's good and fatty, and like I said, I had a ribeye the other night and it was absolutely delicious. It was seared and charred and medium on the inside. My wife loves the char, especially on the fat, on the marbling, so we got to make sure we do that every time we do a ribeye. So expensive cuts of beef are ribeyes. That's number one on the list. Also a rib roast, and of course a New York strip, which New York strips, from what I've seen in past when I've purchased them, are actually pretty lean cuts of meat. But they are beef. And of course, one of the top dogs is filet mignon, or as some of my friends around here in the country like to say, filet mignon. It sounds Cajun, doesn't it? And then of course you've got top loin. And then going down the line on most expensive, T-bone steaks, and then right after that are flank steaks. You stick with those lower grades, the ground beef, the chuck roast, short ribs, stew meat, and beef shank. That'll help you narrow down your budget and keep it friendly, Also, look at hot dogs. And the person that commented on my TikTok said preservatives. Well, you know what? If you're doing affordable carnivore, some people eat Spam on it. I mean, it's you can do it. And you can get some really good hot dogs that only have like 1 gram of carb per hot dog. Maybe some of them have 2. You just got to watch how many you eat and look at the fat content and the protein content and make sure it's all adding up. Also, you can get, a good, cheap, in my opinion, carnivore snack as long as it doesn't have maltodextrin in it, or pork rinds. But the maltodextrin you'll usually find in like salt and vinegar and barbecue flavored pork rinds. You will find a few brands that do not have maltodextrin. And I always check the label for that, because if you saw in one of my last shorts, maltodextrin will spike your blood sugar almost twice as much as regular sugar itself. me see. I'm looking right here at these pork rinds. The pork rinds, I believe Max Original. Max is a big thing at Walmart. They have a lot of those. Let's look here. Here we go. But yeah, the Max I've gotten before, but I have found maltodextrin, and I think in their barbecue flavor. I'll have to check. I actually have some in my pantry. I think Lowry's, they make some pork rinds, and I don't know if you've ever seen these kind, but they come in a pack like popcorn, and you put them in the microwave for a few minutes. Just follow the directions on the bag, place the bag facing up with the folds up, and run it in the microwave for a few minutes. And those pork rinds by far beat any pork rind that's bagged at the store. It tastes like ones that are like made at a fair, like right there in front of you. It's really, really good. There's a brand called Epic Pork Rinds, sea salt and vinegar, just simple ingredients. Those are $5 a bag though. That's like specialty, so that's like Whole Food stuff. But I think if you look, let me check these out right here. If you look at some of the other brands, I think there's some Golden Flake that do not have maltodextrin. But the best way to make sure is check the label, of course. But also, especially if you're into flavors, the flavored ones like Sweet Heat, anything named that, anything barbecue, anything salt and vinegar, make sure you're checking the label for maltodextrin. It will spike your blood sugar and your insulin levels higher than sugar itself. It's crazy. I know you thought sugar was the culprit. Maltodextrin is the bigger villain, honestly, from the research I've done. And also, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Eggs are relatively cheap right now. They're going down in price. They did get ridiculous. It was almost like you had to barter your personal belongings to get some eggs for a hot minute there. But eggs are going down. I make sure I keep like 36 eggs in the fridge. Sometimes I get the big box. It's like a 48 or 60 pack. And we go through them so much. That's actually the better choice. And they're a nutrient powerhouse. I mean, if you think about it, inside of an egg is everything to build life. So all those minerals and vitamins and nutrients are packed in that one shell. So eggs, and plus you get so much fat and protein. It's just, and then if you melt butter in the pan before you cook, not only to help it not stick, but to add flavor and more fat to the butter, even better. So eggs are great. They're not that expensive. If you want to go all out and get grass-fed or cage-free, the brown-looking eggs, those are going to be more expensive, y'all. They're going to be more expensive. And that's just how it works. Also, I found you got to be careful with some of these pre-packaged like fajita meats. I don't know if you've seen them before. There's a few brands out there. They're already cooked, and they're either frozen or in the cold section. And some of the seasonings on them actually do add a significant amount of carbs. I'm going to look up this brand that I know that I actually used to buy all the time. I loved it. I loved them. And they were delicious, easy to cook, quick on-the-go meals for your family. Here we go. These are, they're John Soul's Foods steak fajitas. Let's see here. They are gluten-free, of course. It's a 6-ounce bag. 100% natural. Okay. 17% sodium. I'm going to go view full item details. Let's do this. All right. Let's go down here. Yeah, these things, you've probably seen them before. They have huge bags of these at Sam's Club. And they are actually, here we go. Here's nutrition facts right here. Go back. Here we go. Okay, so there's 2 servings per container. 3 ounce, so 3 times 2 is 6. There's 6 ounces in a bag. 4 grams of carbs per serving. So this whole bag has 8 grams of carbs, 5% fat, and 18 grams of protein. So, per serving. So, it's borderline. It's borderline. But they're delicious. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you're going to get 8 grams of carbs. But honestly, if you're trying to stay under 10 or 20 grams of carbs, and you make that a meal with a little cheese on top as your one meal a day, your OMAD, you'll be fine. And then these things run, what do these things run? $4.70 for a 6 ounce. And then the big one I was talking about at Sam's Club is $10. It's $9.97. Also, I'm trying to think of other things here. The beef jerkies I mentioned earlier in the short video, the Jack's Links, like cheese sticks and beef sticks. Those things only have like a gram of carb, if that, maybe a little less, and they got 20 grams of protein and like 30% fat. So you're really loading up with one of those, and it's 300 calories too, and they fill you up. I'll have one of those at about 11 in the morning and won't be hungry, sometimes even till 7 or 8 that night. It'll tithe me that long, like it will hold me over. It's pretty satiating. But I just don't want anyone getting discouraged about when you get online and you're seeing these other YouTube videos and some of these doctors, and they're talking about grass-fed meat, range-free, cage-free. That's good. If you can afford it, go for it. But you can do this way more affordable. You can stick to a budget. Get the apps, search your store. All the stores with the foods listed have a picture of the back with the nutrition facts on it. So you can check for maltodextrin. You can check your carb content. You can check your fat and protein. Make sure you're getting ample quantities of that with what you're purchasing. But you can keep it cheap and keep it carnivore or ketovore or even keto, whatever your journey is like. Mine is a carnivore journey. I'm actually, right now in my air fryer, I've got some ballpark full Angus beef hot dogs cooking. I'm going to eat them by themselves. That's just what I'm going to have for dinner to tide me over until tomorrow. Probably around lunch, maybe even later than that. They have 1 gram of carb per frank. And I just cooked 4 franks. That'll be plenty. And I had some beef jerky earlier today. And that's it. So I'm keeping my carb count down and keeping my protein and fat high and staying satiated and full. So keep it up. Keep going. You can do it budget friendly. Like I said in that video in the Jeep I did, you don't have to be rich to do this diet. All you have to do is be determined and be mindful. Watch the videos. You don't just have to watch mine. There's so many others out there. I want you to like and subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be uploading more and more and more content because I want to get this out there that this diet can help reverse so many issues in your body with inflammation and Hashimoto's and arthritis and psoriasis on your skin, inflammation in your knees, your back pain. It can just reverse all of it. And type 2 diabetes, it can take your A1C right down out of that range. So let's stick with it. And I'm going to be your partner if you'll let me. Just hit like and subscribe. And I would love to keep talking to you. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I do apologize as I'm a little tired. It has been a very busy day at my other job. But I had to get this video out there. I told you I was going to make it, and I am going to make it, and I'm going to follow through. So remember the list of beefs that I gave you. I'll see if I can share a link to that in my... once I get the video uploaded, I'll see if I can share a link to that. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to wish you all a good evening and a great rest of the week. And stay safe, stay carnivore, love you, and like you. Have a great evening.